we'll get started here. Welcome everyone for this session with Uber and MediaMarkt. We're so excited that you decided to join this session this afternoon. We want to discuss the latest trends, innovations in the retail and commerce space, but of course also in the on-demand space and what the consumers' wishes, expectations are towards that. We are joined by two experts, Jordi and Michael, that will guide us and answer all of our questions on this topic in the next 45 minutes or so. If you have questions, remember them. We have time for a Q&A at the end. And if they're really, really pressing questions, feel free to raise your hand. We have someone from Deliver with a microphone that can answer your questions. Jordi, why don't you introduce yourself to the group?
Yep, thanks so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Jordi Suarez. I'm the global head of Uber Direct, which is Uber's last mile delivery service. I'm going to talk more about it. Really excited about being here. I see my picture. I look younger in that picture. And I realize it's the first time I do this silent disco thing, so hopefully it'll work well. And really looking forward to discussing the latest trends, how can we help, and also very excited to share the stage with Michael from MediaMarkt. So thanks for joining us today and looking forward to the discussion.
Yeah, me too. Hello, my name is Michael Jaschek. I'm with MediaMarktSaturn. I work in the sourcing departments in the headquarters, and I'm responsible for transport sourcing in all European countries. Beside that, I'm responsible for the topic of Pudo and Locker. And I have founded an interdisciplinary fraud management working group in retail.
Thank you so much for introducing yourself to the crowd. Let's start at the beginning. When we talk about consumer demands and trends, what do you see in the on-demand delivery space? And what are the expectations of customers around this topic?
Yep, absolutely. So really quick, like when we think about how fast customer expectations are changing, 10 years ago, it wasn't so common like to press a button and get a car in front of your door in 5 minutes. 5, 6 years ago, wasn't that common that you would order food from your favorite restaurants and have it at home under 30 minutes. So guess what? Now it's happening in retail and in groceries. Like, so consumer expectations around fast delivery and around the delivery experience as a whole are increasing. Like consumers are telling us that they want better delivery experiences. So there's a number of studies. I'm sure you, like I've seen today, like several graphs here. I promise, like I'll be short with numbers, but I wanted to share some stats on a study that we did at Uber that show and illustrate these points. So taking the UK, for instance, like 86% of consumers tell us that they expect same-day delivery to be offered by retailers. That number increases the younger the answer, like the person who answer is, like newer generations, younger generations expect faster. And in some categories, such as medicine, flowers, and others, like the expectation is, hey, I want this delivered in 2 hours. If we broaden the scope to EMEA, like Europe, other countries, we see that here, like 72% expect, like express delivery as an option, and it's an expectation. It's no longer a nice to have. Like they're more and more expect that option to be available. 94% of them tell us that a positive delivery experience, they make them more likely to buy from that retailer, so increasing loyalty. And they're also more likely to recommend that retailer to others. 35% though on the other side tell us that they've lost business with a retailer because they didn't have the right delivery option for them. And finally, a stat that I like a lot, which is that 84%, which is maybe a softer stat, but like basically consumers tell us that they feel more valued when they receive a good delivery experience. And we know that that feeling will translate later into loyalty, will translate it into more frequency. So a bunch of numbers, but like the key answer is like they're expecting faster delivery times, they're expecting a good delivery experience, and that delivery experience translates into more business when it's positive, into less business when that's not that positive. So that's what we're seeing at a global level.
And Michael, how would you see that within the MediaMarkt lens on?
Yeah, major change was the Corona time, and ship from store and pick up from store became more common. And now it's post-Corona, after Corona, but the customers would like to have more convenience and more value in regards to the delivery of articles. And we would like to attract the customers and bring this value to them. So one idea, or let's say the idea of us is now to have the seamless omnichannel journey, and we would like to fulfill this better with Uber.
Thank you. And before we go any further on Uber Direct, I think we all know Uber Eats as the place to get really yummy food quickly delivered at home. But what's actually the difference between Uber Direct and Uber Eats?
Yep, thanks so much. It's a question I get a lot. So, my former life, I actually was managing Uber Eats business in some countries. Basically, in the pandemic, we decided that we've seen that customers want that delivery experience. So we can offer that great delivery experience through Uber Eats, basically restaurants, grocers, retailers listing on the Uber Eats app. But during the pandemic, we said, hey, like another good way of being good partners and having good partner relationships is like to offer that logistics experience and offer them to retailers so they can use it on their own channels. So we're talking now like the sales process, like the order transaction happens on your channels, it's your customers. Basically, we're leveraging the Uber engine, like the network of drivers, et cetera, and all the technology we've developed through years. We can now seamlessly plug it into your website, your order flow. So a courier will show up at the store, will show up at the delivery facilities, and will fulfill the delivery for your business to your customers. So basically, we're allowing and basically translating that magical delivery experience to, again, your customers, your channels, etc. So Uber Direct is live now in 18 countries around the globe, 640 cities. We're seeing great adoption. The business is growing really fast. Like in the last 2 years, it has multiplied by 3.5 times. And we have like great partners in different categories, like MediaMarkt, of course, McDonald's, Adidas, Sainsbury's, Sephora, Walgreens, and many others. And the last thing I'll say is like, we're also seeing that many partners partner with us on the fulfillment place and also on the marketplace or on the Uber Eats app. So they want our support in both, and we want to help retailers like meet their demand and meet their customers the way they prefer doing so. So thanks.
Thank you. And I'm really curious. So you shared why Uber Direct makes sense for a lot of retailers. What was your experience as MediaMarkt, and why did you decide to partner with Uber Direct on this?
Yeah, we wanted to set a new benchmark in delivery, and that's why we chose to offer the instant delivery within 90 minutes. This is a complete new offer, and we are using our strong store market in Germany. For us, it's like we have 400 little fulfillment centers in the country, and we already have the products very close to the customer. So now it's for us a logical step to give this new offer with Uber. Yeah.
And Jordi, why would other retailers benefit from using Uber Direct in their delivery channels?
Yeah. So first of all, I'm sure that if I ask anyone in the audience like to tell me one of the numbers I shared earlier, no one will remember. And I know that because I've tried to memorize them and I need to read them and I need to look at my notes. But I hope like this story like brings it to life. So this is a story of Leo. Leo is a 12-year-old kid, son of a friend of mine and a colleague of mine, who had been saving for months to buy PlayStation. And then we're on a Saturday morning, he's with his dad, and they go online 10:30 a.m. in the morning, and they find the PlayStation, and they deliver same day. Imagine like the eyes of the kid. Kid gets really excited. Dad says, "Yes, I'm buying it same day. We're having it today." It said it's gonna be delivered by 9 p.m. That's great. They changed the whole plans. They had plans to leave the home, etc. They stay around the home waiting for the delivery. They spend the morning, okay, 2 p.m., text message, no worries, your order is still gonna show up. Great. I don't know how many of you have kids. I empathize a lot with this story. Like, I don't know how he made it through the afternoon with the kid like waiting eagerly to receive this. Um, 5 p.m. nothing, 6 p.m. nothing, 7 p.m. nothing, 9:30 p.m. receives a text message. We're sorry, we haven't been able to deliver the order. So lots of learnings, and I actually remember that story much better than the numbers because, like, first of all, he bought it because they offered the same day delivery experience. However, the experience was not good, so of course, like the feeling is not great. So how can we help? We help with four things. We can help offer your customers choice. So basically, offering a delivery option that's very fast, and we can offer speed. So basically, if you really want it today, if you really need it today, you can have that option other than regular options. So we're offering choice, we're offering speed, and we're offering certainty and transparency. Basically, by being able to being very reliable, like ensuring that the order will get there, but also giving visibility throughout the process. Like you can lower those levels of anxiety and like actually tell your kid when actually it's going to come, and that's pretty helpful. So we believe we can do all of that, and the beauty of it is like you don't need to go and build your own delivery network. Basically, you can plug into an existing delivery network with an existing technology that can actually deliver that for you really, really fast. So we're excited about that. We're excited about the potential. We really believe that this is the future, and we're really excited that we have a real case, pretty similar to like the story I just shared, to see how it's going, to understand, to see it in real life, in short.
Talking about real life, I think a lot of us retailers in the room might wonder, well, how does it actually work? So, how did it work?
Yeah, so the Uber solution is integrated in our online shop in the website seamlessly. So the customer can check if for his zip code the service is available, and then he can choose it. It's for goods up to 23 kilogram. And when the item is below 11 kilogram, it can even be delivered by a bike. So yeah, so this is also good for the environment. We have a quite aggressive pricing with €4.99. This is the offer, and we deliver up to a radius of 10 kilometers. So this is, let's say, the frame. Yeah, the customer gets very good information how it works. There is due to the Uber software, we have a very good track and trace. So there's always a connection between the driver and the customer. And then one thing is very interesting. It's the two-factor authentication at the end. So this is a security for us as a retailer, but also for the customer. So the customer only gets the article when he knows his four-digit code. And during now the first weeks, there was an interesting experience because in the team we raised the question, hey, there are 30 customers not knowing the PIN code, and I said no. This is a good information because maybe we prevented 30 times a fraud case. Yeah. So, and this is a basic service which is included, and this is not very widespread in Germany and even in Europe. So. So this is very good, and yeah, so and we really like the comprehensive network of Uber and the software technology and the speed.
We said we wouldn't talk about numbers too much, but I am curious about the results you've actually been able to see in that time that you've worked with Uber Direct.
Yeah, so the customer promise is 90 minutes, but the name of the workshop is a little bit different, and this yeah, we chose that because we know now the numbers after the first weeks. So the promise is 90 minutes, but we are below 60 minutes, so comfortable below 60 minutes, and we have 200 active stores, and yeah. So in the very interesting and curious was we had a pre-phase in the first 2 weeks. We didn't make any commercials or announce nothing, and during that time we already had 3,500 orders. And yeah, so far we have 20,000 orders fulfilled and delivered to happy customers, and it's working very good.
Thank you. And I think one of the things I think is on my mind now is, Jordi, how does it start? How do I start working with Uber Direct? How does the process look like? What can I expect as a retailer?
So it's actually, as I said, it's pretty easy. It like there's a number of factors, but like basically what we do is like we have an external API integration, like an external API to which any retailer can integrate. And basically, like once we're integrated, like everything flows through that API. So like typically, like the full order flow. That integration is not complex. It's something that can be done fairly easily. And yeah, it's as simple as that. Like once we've agreed, of course, like the commercial terms and like how it'll work and whatnot. There's what we see also is like there's a, and I'm sure Michael will confirm that, but like there's a fair amount of work on the retailer side, like to adapt their processes to such speed, right? Like we've talked about speed, but like we have the Uber network of couriers, drivers around. So the speed for us to get to almost any store is pretty fast, like because it's chances are that you have someone really close. So it also involves like, okay, so once the order is there, who packs it, how we pack it, etc. So it is a little bit of a transformation from the technical point of view. It's not complex. It's just like being very clear with the architecture, creating that API, so basically everything can flow automatically. We do have like a dashboard solution that you can go and create trips manually, but like we expect trips and like orders in the thousands and the millions, so that's not very efficient, but it's available, of course, like for whoever wants to do it.
And Michael, how was that transformation process that Jordi hinted at for you at MediaMarkt?
Yeah, it was a very good project, I would say. I can confirm that maybe sometimes Uber was faster than we were because, yeah, we are a bigger company with different departments, so we had to coordinate. But I think we learned from each other. On the other hand side, we look on topics where maybe Uber was not so fully aware of. But this is, let's say, the big learning we both have, and yeah, we really appreciate that. I would like to add one thing. During Corona, we learned how to fulfill orders in the stores, yeah, for pickups and so on. And now each of our employees in the stores have a cell phone and they can process orders. And we already have a 30-minute promise to provide pickups from customers, and we had to adjust this a little bit, of course, to fulfill the Uber delivery, because once the Uber driver is standing in the store, we have to hand over the parcel. So this was a little adjustment, but it's working.
And let me add something, and you touched upon this. Like we've said that the delivery experience matters. So basically, like Uber is an extension of your delivery experience, right? So actually sitting down and drawing the full process, understanding what's the order flow, what's the customer journey. What I see like globally with different retailers is like the more you actually sit down and draw that journey together and understand, okay, what's the pickup experience for the driver? What's the customer gonna see? How is the tracking page presented to him or her? So like sitting down and mapping these out and solving problems, because like there are problems, but like they're all solvable. I think it's key for the success that you're seeing and the good experience that you're giving to the customers.
And there's another thing. Your team is also analyzing our web shop, so we also get feedback on how to do better in the offer to the customer and the customer journey. So
There you go.
Thank you. And we talked about the customer in the last couple minutes quite a lot. And I'm curious, I know, or I'm aware that you shared, Michael, that you do invest a lot in creating demand for your different channels. Could you tell us what worked for MediaMarkt in this regard?
yeah, so we had a corresponding marketing campaign. As I said, the first 2 weeks, this was a trial out phase, just to fix the last topics, and then we burned a big firework in many channels. So it was very detailed and let's say reflecting cities or different topics. We see here some examples behind us. So what was very successful was TikTok and even Tinder, the dating platform. Very successful was Twitch. And All together, branded content, we had around 24 hours of video content which we published, and this created 7.5 million on-site impressions and 22 million online impressions in all channels. Additionally, we had around 50 PR articles, so we pushed it a lot in television, out of home, everywhere. Yeah.
They're actually pretty funny, and actually, like there's a very similar use case I see there, like the PlayStation 1, like without the like someone missing a controller. It's actually interesting with the story that we shared earlier, and it's really good.
Yeah, definitely. So to reflect maybe a little bit, what's next for this partnership for you, Jordi, for you, Michael?
The first?
Please.
Yeah, sounds good. Like on our side, like it's literally getting better every day, continuous improving, like continuous improvement, and getting like any little like understand that the reliability. So basically, like items getting delivered is working really well, but like getting faster, getting more accurate. So working better every day is like what we say is like the key for your happiness. So if we deliver like the right delivery experience, you'll be happy with the partnership. So like you'll feel more ready to really invest more in marketing, go bigger, attracting more attention, attracting more customers. So on our side, it is very, very important that we keep partnering really closely to improve on all things experience for the delivery side, and hopefully like keep growing this partnership.
Yeah, from our side, first we will scale up. Now we have 200 stores live, the most biggest cities or major cities, but we will also go to smaller communities and towns. So this is a goal to cover the whole country. So this is first. Then there is a brainstorming about time scheduled delivery, which can also be possible. This is more like a future topic, which we are brainstorming on. And then there is a new information regarding the MediaMarkt stores. So it was decided this week to roll out Pudo points in all of our stores in Germany. We will have up to 3 Pudo points. And additionally, we will start piloting lockers. And these lockers may play a major role also for Uber, because today we have a cutoff time 1 hour or half an hour before the store closes. Why is that? Because when we deliver something and the customer is not at home, the Uber driver needs to bring back the item. And if we would have lockers at all of our stores, then Uber can or the cutoff time is the minute when we close the store. And if a customer is not at home, then it can be brought back to the locker at the store. So this also a new pilot.
We are about 2/3 in on the way. I heard that there were some fun facts to liven up the moment. So, Michael, I'm curious, what was the very, very first item that was ever delivered with an Uber Direct Delivery?
It was a science fiction film, Dune 1, a Blu-ray. Interesting that we still sell the Blu-ray when we have online like Netflix, but we do it. We see it here on the slide. Let's say the most successful item are the AirPods Professional 2, and you can say this is more or less an average product. The fastest one, 12 minutes, was an HDMI cable. So this is becoming more important now during the European Championship of football here in Germany. So maybe we have some cables and stuff so on. Then the most categories beside Apple, we have vacuum cleaners on place number 2 from Dyson. This is also, there is an urgent demand. So and
what's the craziest item that was ever delivered?
It's like we have a customer. He ordered a smartwatch to track his health and a steering wheel for a game. So this combination was kind of funny, like making the games and just checking if his pulse is still okay.
Performance management at home in front of the console makes sense.
Let me just
Go ahead. Yeah.
I see there like the 20%
Yeah.
higher average basket size, and like to be honest, everything else like that we've said in terms of like meeting the consumer expectations, like that's the ideal result at the end,
Yeah.
right? So it's like if offering these, like we see increased conversion, increased basket, increased loyalty,
Yeah.
increased business at the end of the day. That's huge. So I'm really excited to see those results popping up.
Yes, so we have a positive margin effect due to the delivery of Uber from the stores, and the basket is way higher. As I said, the airport is a good average, so interesting, yeah, also for us.
I'll open the floor for a question at this point. If you could raise your hand, state your name and your company, that would be
I see the
lovely.
icebreaker.
Perfect.
Hello, Evgeny from Swappy. First of all, thank you for introduction. It's quite great to hear about the new experience. I have a couple of questions which curious me. The first of all, if we're talking about one store point of view, how many orders per day you are delivering or like dispatching? And second one, if it comes for the actual orders and it's happening every 5 minutes, how the process looks like?
Okay, yeah. So the volume is depending on the store. We have big size store in Hamburg at the Mönckebergstraße. We have on 4 levels the biggest electronic retail store in Europe. With a big volume. Of course, there is more to fulfill than we have smaller cities. So it's it depends on the place and on the city. But regardless, the volume we can scale because each employee has his cell phone in his pocket, and once there is no customer, he opens the cell phone. A new fulfillment order for Uber, then he goes to the shelf, picks it up, packs the parcel, and then the parcel is ready. So it's not about a question of how many come, so we can scale, and we are familiar with that because we learned it during Corona with the pickup from store and so on. So it's for us a common business, but the new choice is so interesting for us. Yeah, so that the customer has.
Yeah, and in terms of like if the question is has also like a component of the delivery side in the sense of how many orders can we batch together like to lower costs. Actually, at this stage doesn't matter that much. Like what we're optimizing for here is like ultra fast, so very convenient delivery times. So we ship 1-2 order stops is like if volumes like are high and like there's a route that we can do efficiently and meet the like the delivery promise, we will batch together. But like if a store has like not a lot of volume today, like it's okay on the delivery promise because we don't need to build the density, like the Uber network of drivers, etc. is already there. So it's easy to fulfill. And yeah, I hope that soon we can collapse your stores with the physical stores with the inflow of orders. That would be like
great.
really fantastic.
Yeah.
And Michael, you mentioned the pandemic, that it all got started. I mean, Jordi, you mentioned it at the beginning as well. I'm curious, so how do you see the development of this direct delivery demand? We heard from different studies that the foot traffic in stores is increasing again after COVID. How do you see that relationship between people going back to stores, but at the same time wanting to have that on-demand delivery?
I have to answer as an omnichannel retailer, so there are so many touch points today. Customers step into the store, go into our app, order online, sit on the couch, check the offer, go into the store. So it's so there are so many touch points, but we want to give the best offer for the customer need for a delivery or for a pickup. Yes, after COVID, the numbers went up because during COVID it was 0. So let's say it's a low brainer. But what is interesting now I speak from Germany. There is a stream in the society which says buy local to support the local stores, and even after COVID, there is still this support for local shopping. Yeah, so I can say that. Yeah.
And Jordi, your perspective post-COVID, what are the customer expectations on-demand delivery?
Yeah, I think the pandemic accelerated a trend that I saw it like on that day. I was like more kind of on the food delivery space, but like it accelerated the delivery trends, in my view, quite a bit. And yeah, this was not a trend that went up and then disappeared. It was just an acceleration. So yeah, the pandemic basically accelerated it all, like elevated consumer expectations, and I think made a lot of people, a lot of businesses rethink their omnichannel, like how to adapt later on to offline, online, etc. So yeah, the pandemic definitely generated a little bit of a, well, like it's pretty obvious that it was a big shakeup, but like also on the post-pandemic world, like some changes in expectations, in yeah, retailers adapting to the new realities.
I'll open the floor for another questions at this point. Yes, I see all the way in the, well, not all the way in the back.
Yeah, I have to
Two-thirds.
say this is like television with live audience feedback, because like you
yeah.
see people, like I think we're winning. I see more blue than red and
Go ahead.
green, but like every time someone changes, like it's really interesting. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, good.
He's changing back to blue.
Yeah.
I'm Harald from Rebuy. I'm interested a little bit more in the customer journey. So I can imagine it to this degree where, you said the postcode shows Uber Direct is available. I probably submit my delivery address, but how is it continuing from there? So is there then a handover into the app, or how is actually the user then, how are you showing to the user everything until he actually receives the package? Can you maybe elaborate on that a little bit
Can I
more?
take it?
I can start. So it's completely MediaMarkt branded. I can say that, and let's say we have a close IT connection to make this seamless. Yeah?
Yeah, so basically through the API integration, like information flows back and forth. We can do, Michael was saying, which basically is like the tracking experience you see on the Uber Eats app or in the Uber app is like the same, but you embed it into like the retailer's website or the retailer's experience. So it can be actually like consumer can see that it's Uber, or he or she cannot see it, like depends on like the retailer's preference, like white label, not white label. And we can do that, or also we can send an SMS, because again, information flows. We can send an SMS with a white label link. So basically, receive an SMS, open it. Okay, my order is here, or it's like this is the route that is following. So it's kind of the same experience you'd get in the app, but it's not in our app. It's either on the retailer's ecosystem or in a white label ecosystem that like you go and check it out. But it's all connected through the API. So information flows back and forth.
Does it answer your question? Yes. Okay.
Thumbs up. I saw another hand earlier for another question. I thought.
No? Blue questions.
We talked about consumer expectations a lot. What's your vision for the customer journey when experiencing Uber Direct in the relationship of MediaMarkt or the context of MediaMarkt?
So the relation.
So, what is your future expectation for the customer journey in the MediaMarkt concept?
Yeah. Okay. My expectation is first to scale it at a higher level, and during this scale also to fulfill the customer promise. So we have 90 minutes. Now it's we started I think end of March. So now it's June. It's a young business, but we want to grow and also be very stable on performance. So this would be good for the customer journey and the expectation of the customer. But so far we are very satisfied, and we should hard work that it stays like that. So this, I think, then we are on a good path.
What we see is, of course, that customers want their order on their time, in their perfect frame, on their terms. How do you kind of balance that agility of being flexible and, serving the always changing mind of the customer?
I think it is through choice. I think like showing different options. I think we're price elastic, but not in the same way every single day. So it's like there are some use cases there that you're, like the example I shared, you're willing to pay a lot of money if like you have a home crisis, like you have your kid is not feeling well, you want to order medicine, like I would pay anything for a high price to get it delivered fast. But for other items, like I'm not in a hurry, like I can wait, I'll go for cost. So I think by showing different options, and of course you cannot show 15 different options, but like 2, 3 different options, you can pretty much cover the different delivery use cases. And while I understand, for instance, like it's great to see like average, like higher baskets, but so I know that if I'm a MediaMarkt customer, I'm not going to choose like the express delivery option every single time. But the time I need it, it really creates like a deep relationship because that option saved my life. Like I lost my earphones and I have a meeting and like in half an hour I have them there. That's great. Like the medicine and use case, that's great. So I think in this adapting and changing world, like we need to try to offer customers like that choice so they can really use your product, your service, the way that fits them that day, that moment, in that situation. And yeah, I think that requires a little bit of offering alternatives.
I can confirm that. So we want to bring the choice to the customer. So in the past we had the delivery within 1 or 2 days. Now we have the option 90 minutes, and then between 90 minutes and 1 and 2 days there's also some gap. So this which can be filled with other options. So and we are thinking about that. I told you that we have the locker topic coming up. So yeah, we are figuring out how to make the customer happy.
And could I maybe get a show of hands? So, from the retailers that are listening in, who is doing some form of on demand delivery right now already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow.
I'll go talk to you later.
But I'm curious. So for the ones that did not raise their hands, that may be hesitant towards why it would make a difference to their retail environment, Jordi, if they had one thing that they could do right now to enable that journey on becoming more on demand, what would that be?
You're talk to me, talk to us. We can make it very easy for you. But no, I like in jokes aside, like it involves not only us, of course, as it's like a different like two-party process. And I think like one thing that we see also like being a challenge sometimes is having inventory visibility, real-time inventory visibility, and how you manage that inventory and the supply chain, how you manage store operations. Those are challenges that appear in, like not in this case, but like in others that I've seen. So first of all, I think it's like getting convinced that this is valuable, helpful, it adds value to your customers, to your business. The delivery piece, in my view, it's quite easy. Again, it's like plug and play. The technology is there, and like there's a process, and we need to learn about your business, adapt. How do we do the delivery experience? But the technology is not the general blocker. It's like that sitting down and understanding end-to-end the process. It's fairly easy, but it requires a little bit of making sure that everything is ready.
And you mentioned inventory, and it's really interesting because what we see in terms of the trends for different retailers is that they see little inventory in their actual stores in the future. We see, of course, grocery stores, you will always buy a banana probably in a store and not online. But for the retailers that do see that decrease, or maybe even have zero inventory in the stores and have warehouses, like say outside of cities, how would they create this on-demand delivery environment for their customers?
I'll give you my answer. Like
I can also say some words to that.
Yeah, so that's a very interesting question. I would say there's two things happening, and probably there's no one size fits all. I think warehouses are getting way closer, and sort of the inventory that's not on stores is getting typically closer and closer to the demand to enable that fast delivery. And then I think on the store inventory, we're probably seeing different trends. Like some might be going for less inventory, like it's only almost a flagship store, and then I ship everything for warehouses. We see sometimes a different trend, which is like, okay, I'm going to use my stores as warehouses or like inventory like setting. So we see those trends. I think at the end, what it's non-negotiable is like you need to offer fast delivery times. And depending on what type of business you are, for instance, like consumer electronics, probably like you have inventory in the store, it's like more helpful. Maybe clothing, apparel works different, and it's more efficient to do it from warehouses and getting a warehouse closer, and you have like more limited SKU on the store. So I think the answer is not the same for each retailer, but I do believe that no matter what you do and where you hold inventory, 5 days delivery time is no longer an option, right? It's like probably next day, 2 days maybe, but like that's the longest that you can take to deliver. So that's how I view it. Again, a little bit of a different answer for different types of merchant, like retailers, but I don't know if you agree with that.
So we have different store formats. We have the flagship stores in capital cities, for example. They're very big, and we also invite producers like Samsung and so on to have a branded store in the flagship stores. And then what also is new are very small, small size stores with a limited inventory. Yes. But where we also support customers to order online. Yeah, so this is possible. We have another new store with refurbished product in the town of Tübingen. This is a student town, and we want to offer to young people refurbished products. So different ways. From our logistical structure, we are building up an urban hub logistic structure. To have more inventory, not in the stores, to concentrate it a little, and it's today more focused on two-man handling. Yeah, to have the big device, not to bring washing machines to the stores. A customer orders it, we bring it back, and then deliver it to the customer. So there are improvements, and this can be only possible for one-man handling parcel products in the future.
Is there a final question from the audience? Yes, I see up front. The mic is coming. Perfect.
Hi, I am Marco from the company Snipes in Germany. Did the use of the new service with Uber Direct lead to a decrease of click and collect orders? So are the persons using Uber Direct mainly persons that would have picked up the item instead in person anyway, or are it really new persons that would not have used the other service?
This is a really good question. Thank you. So we are analyzing that. It's not even the pickup volume, is also the standard online order, which can be infected. So so far I cannot give you a clear answer of that, but we are analyzing this since the beginning, and this is the very interesting question we would like to answer for ourselves. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Good question, but maybe next time we can give more input to that.
Yeah, next year at Deliver, you'll come back with
Yes.
the numbers. Jordi, then we have the final question for you. What's the dream for Uber Direct, let's say in 5 years from now?
I personally am pretty excited about so more examples like this one, but I know that any big retailer, huge retailer like MediaMarkt, they will offer this solution. They'll partner with us or others, hopefully with us. I'm very excited about also helping smaller businesses. Like this technology is available to any business. So I think being able to scale the service to anyone that wants to offer and delight their customers with a service like ours, I think that's transformational because it's helping like the local commerce, the ecosystem, and it's really empowering local commerce. That really is an exciting vision for me and something that we're working really hard to replicate this, but like to any small merchant, big but not so small.
Thank you both so much for sharing the value that your partnership has created to all of your customers in Germany and also, of course, around the globe. We'll wrap up for now here. If you have any questions to Michael or to Jordi, they're around. If you have any hesitations around, what does on-demand delivery look like for my retail context, feel free to reach out to Jordi and the other people from the Uber Direct team that are all here. It's been a pleasure to have you. Thank you for your questions, and we'll see you around.